What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on Pam Unfiltered. So, the new season of The Bachelorette was canceled yesterday due to all the controversy surrounding The Bachelorette. And if you don't know who that is, she is the main antagonist, the main caster of the Hulu reality series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And that is Taylor Frankie Paul. It was announced a couple of months ago that she would be the new Bachelorette. When I saw the advertisement of her to be the new Bachelorette, I didn't really think anything of it because I personally don't watch it. The only two times that I watched it was when the last two Black women were the Bachelorette. Chastity was one of them, and then the other girl, I forgot her name. She was one of them as well, and she actually recently got married to another man about a month ago. But anyway, those are the only times that I've watched it. So I didn't think anything of it. But then as the time near to the premiere and they really started to show The Bachelorette, I started to pay attention to who it was. And I was like, this girl looks really familiar. I don't know where she is, but she looks familiar. Then it clicked in my head who she is and where she comes from. And again, she comes from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And if you've seen that reality show, you know that she is a hot ass mess. Now, I have not seen the entirety of the series. Honestly, truly, I could not get past the first 10 minutes of the second episode. It was that, I don't care. You know, you got Mormon women and their Mormon husbands, you know, doing orgies and what's the word? And swinging and drinking and partying. I'm like, isn't this the complete opposite of the Mormon way? Like, what are we watching here? I just couldn't watch it. However, the one episode that I did watch, I noticed how much of a train wreck Taylor was. And in that episode, which was the first episode, she was arrested for domestic abuse against her boyfriend Dakota and her baby daddy. Yes, they have a child together. So when it clicked in my head that she was the next Bachelorette, I was just like, why would you choose her? Like, she's literally an easy Google to see if she was problematic. So it was like, why would ABC and The Bachelorette choose her? And I know why. You were being messy because your ratings are low. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, the whole entire franchise is dying and you wanted to rev it up. So she was the perfect person to do that, but it backfired because now you had to cancel the season. And I know that was a huge money loss. So let's get into the reason why the Bachelorette season was canceled. So it started off maybe like towards the end of last week, the beginning of this week. There were rumors swirling around that the upcoming season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the taping of it was put on pause because Taylor and Dakota was creating a toxic work environment. Some of the cast members eventually came out and said, yes, it is true, it is put on pause because they wanted to figure out how they can deal with Taylor and Dakota. So after that was announced, right, then TMZ reported that Dakota put a protection order against Taylor, and then he went to court to get full sole custody of their son, Ever. I'm going to read you guys what TMZ had to report on the situation. So let me bring that up. I don't know what's going on with TMZ and this like weird virus thing that comes up. They really need to fix this. So it says here, according to court docs obtained by TMZ, Dakota filed for a protective order in Utah on Tuesday let me read that again. According to court docs obtained by TMZ, Dakota filed for a protective order in Utah on Tuesday. In his filing, Dakota detains the incident that he claims went down on February 23rd and February 24th of 2026. Dakota said he was at Taylor's home with Taylor and their son Ever. He claimed the two had an argument that escalated. He then said she choked him and he had to physically remove her hands from his neck while she shoved him into a window and struck him. And this is probably the reason why they put this is probably the reason why they put the show on pause, right? In his filing, he called the situation chaotic and frightening. Dakota claims Ever woke up from the commotion, which he says included Taylor yelling and screaming. Dakota says he called 911 for help, but he claims Taylor pressed and manipulated him into telling dispatch the child was sick, so the call would end. Okay. Normally the police will still come out. He said he claims Taylor was emotionally volatile and said she wanted to harm herself. Dakota said he tried to calm her down for her safety and to stabilize the situation for their child. He claims after he put Ever back to sleep and lay down with him, Taylor pulled the blankets off them. Dakota said he tried to shield Ever, but the child woke up crying because of Taylor's aggressive behavior. He says Dakota said he left her home and went to his home with Ever for their safety. Dakota claims the two were together again at her home the following night and alleges Taylor threw his phone into the wall and physically blocked him from exiting. He also said Taylor followed him and continued to yell. Dakota said he got into his truck and Taylor also got in and started to attack him. He says he tried to drive away, but Taylor grabbed and squeezed his face, threw a drink on him, and struck parts of his car. Then he also goes and says, I was unable to safely leave while this was happening, and my child had been left inside the home during the chaos under her watch due to our custody agreement. He added that to protect himself, he pushed her away from him, which she made contact with the passenger seat. Dakota said he left the home, which led to Taylor texting him and had a bloody nose and needed medical attention, which I believe was an attempt to get me to return and prevent me from calling the police. He says he is genuinely concerned for he's genuinely concerned for his safety and the safety and well-being of his child. And then here's a mugshot from 2023. We're going to get into that. But it says Dakota claims he suffered bruises and lacerations due to Taylor's actions. In his petition, Dakota brought up Taylor's 2023 arrest for assault. Why did that skip like that? Where she was accused of throwing chairs at him. The petition requested temporary custody of Ever and that Taylor not to drink or use drugs during her parenting time. Oh, okay. So she gets intoxicated. This is the perfect example for the Bachelorette. And then it says TMZ obtained photos of Dakota at the Utah courthouse Tuesday, where we're told he happened to bump into Taylor's ex-husband, Taylor Paul. Our sources tell us that they were both there to obtain separate protective orders against Taylor. Now, it has not come out as of yet of her ex-husband actually being granted that protective order. Okay, this is just speculation from this picture. But it says folks who were at the courthouse tells us Tate and Dakota just happened to show up on the same day around the same time. I don't believe that. And cross paths. Lord have mercy. We're told they did not show up together. Why would they? It would be obviously if they did it that way. Instead, they came and went separately. We're told neither had attorneys with them. As TMZ previously reported, a friend of Dakota called police after noticing visible injuries and authorities documented alleged scratches. We're also told there's an active Utah Division of Child and Family Services investigating the tie to the situation. This is ridiculous. Accounts of the incident remain disputed with conflicting claims over who became physical. Taylor was arrested in 2023 after a domestic dispute with Dakota and later pleaded guilty to felony aggravated assault. Meanwhile, Taylor has been promoting her upcoming season of The Bachelorette, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about that. So that was reported, I believe that was reported this past Monday. If not Monday, then it was Tuesday. Let me just click on it, make sure. Actually, no, it was yesterday. This was yesterday's report, right? But what they're talking about is what I mentioned earlier. So in the first episode of the show, Taylor was arrested, as they mentioned here, of domestic abuse on Dakota. Mind you guys, they were only dating for about 4 or 5 months when this incident happened. And it's very curious to me as a person who is experiencing abuse so early on in the relationship, why you didn't leave. Right? This woman is abusing you. You're just getting to know her. Why didn't you leave? So there's a very big question mark on Dakota when it comes to this situation, including you so happen to bump into her ex-husband where you both are getting protection orders. That's also a very big question mark. So I'm going to go in, hold on. I'm going to go in and show you guys some interviews of the 2023 incident from Taylor and from Dakota. And then I'm going to really come back and tell you guys what I truly think about the situation. And then I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on the cancellation of what ABC and the Bachelorette is facing. So let me come in. So this was an interview that she did, I think, about a year or so ago. And this is her admitting the abuse, by the way.
Throwing everything, I was so angry, and I was like, I mean, as we all know, like, I was trying to attack him, and I assaulted him, and I put, like, I took it all out on him, and so...
Like, you physically assaulted him?
Yeah, and I did get, like, I got charged with that, right?
So they came, investigated, and then they took you to jail?
Yeah. Because there was enough evidence there that I was, like, the aggressor.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was, like, I was. And so, and he was trying to calm me down, and I was just, like, throwing everything.
So that was a quick little snippet of her interview. Again, I don't know where this was. It looks like that's in her home somewhere, and then somebody came to her home to do the podcast where she talks about the incident. And then she goes on to another podcast and she talks about it again, but she's like crying and she's acting like a victim and how some white women do. When they looking for sympathy, when they know they're at fault. So let me show y'all that. And it's here right here.
I'm like throwing things. I remember like throwing things, and I don't know my daughter's on the couch. Like I had no idea. Like we had baby.
Hold on, you guys. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to show you guys this because there's something else that I wanted to talk about. Let me go into Dakota's point of view on on the incident. Because this man right here, sneaky bastard.
The relationship did her arrest happen?
I think it was 4 or 5 months in.
I mean, she was throwing the chair at you, which almost hit her child, right?
Yeah. That night was, I mean, you want to talk about being like in a position of what do you do? That's how it felt. I think being a guy in that situation it was really scary for me. And
so just the fact that like it's a domestic dispute and
this man is full of crap. You hear what I'm saying?
Cops are being called. You're immediately...
Dude, 1,000%. I didn't know it was going to happen.
What started it?
Well, she was hammered. And when people get really drunk, right, it can go in phases of like emotional to then anger. Like it will change. When I picked her up from this party, she just was like, crying, breaking down, and just hated herself for kind of, I think everything she did. I think with like, her family, like losing everything. When I got to her house, I was trying to carry her in the house. With my luck, there's a person that's going on a walk at night that is walking around the corner, and Taylor is just crying. So I had to just make sure I told that person I'm like, hey, she's just really drunk. Like, I'm just trying to get her in the house. I get her to the front door. It's locked. And then she's like, oh, my keys are in my truck at the party. So I put her back in the car, drove all the way back to the party, grabbed the keys, then came all the way back. This is where things changed. and the other part of her came out, the anger part. Like it was so fast when it switched, but when I got there, I pulled into her garage and parked. And obviously, like coming back, I mean, she was, when she was like broken, I was just immediately like, okay.
How soon into the...
He is so full of it. Anyway, look at part 2. Hold on, let me unmute it.
Take care of you, get you in the house. When we got into the house, when I came back, like the sitters, like it was immediately like so chaotic that like even I told them, I was like, hey, she's just really drunk. I'm going to try to just get her to bed. The second they walked out the door, it was, it just turned into the most craziest. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's just
I will say we had Taylor on. She
Yeah.
opened up a lot about her version of this night. She
Yeah.
expressed extreme remorse and regret for all of her actions. So I don't want us to like talk about this in a way of like, it was just more so I was curious on your side and how you remember that night to have happened.
All right, enough. So that was his recall on the incident. I'm going to tell you this right now. These two were never meant to be together. Their relationship was rushed from the beginning. It is very questionable at the time, like he said, the first incident of domestic abuse happened 4 or 5 months after they get together, that you didn't leave right away. And I think it's because he wanted to take the opportunity to be famous, and he wanted to take the opportunity to really antagonize her. He saw that she is having issues. Mind you guys, she just recently divorced. She is now a single woman of 2 kids at this time. Okay, he notices that she is filming a new series, and he wanted to take that opportunity to become famous himself. So throughout the years, as they were together and they had their son, they've had a tumultuous relationship, even to the point where one of her cast members let her know that he was cheating on her. This man knows exactly how to trigger her. And if he did not want fame and wanted to stick it to her, he would have left. And what a coincidence that you're looking for sole custody of your son, a protection order, right when her season is supposed to start. Now, don't get this twisted that I'm all for Taylor, because I'm not. She is a very problematic. This is a woman who is very male-centered, right? She probably doesn't like to be by herself, and she has other major issues that's going on with her. And instead of fixing that, she goes and she runs to a man. And then she realizes that she's getting physical with this person. Instead of saying, you know what, this man is toxic, I don't need him in my life, she still continues on with this man because why? She's male-centered and she needs a man in her life. But because these abuse allegations been going on, and she puts her hands on men, whether she's sober, whether she's drunk, whether she's high, it's still wrong. And ABC knew this from the jump. There have been several people that were producers. There was a gentleman that was the host that said they do extensive background check on everybody. So they knew from the jump that she was problematic, and they did not care. I'm going to show you guys what sealed the deal for ABC and The Bachelorette to cancel the show. Conveniently, TMZ got a hold of a video of Taylor abusing Dakota. So, trigger warning for everybody. Warning here, okay? I just want to let you guys know that. But how convenient that this particular video was sent to TMZ. Now, mind you guys, Dakota is the one that's filming this video. Okay? You know what? Before I show you that video, let me show you this other video of one of her cast members telling her that Dakota was having an affair on her. Let me show you that real quick. And then I'll go in and show you the other one.
I'll tell you.
I do. Right now.
The point of this... Is it okay if I say something?
I'm just going to call someone else.
Yeah, I just would prefer you call someone else.
Okay.
I'm sorry, he did.
My issue with Dakota is that he, before he leaves, is claiming to be like, I love you, Taylor, no matter what, our family, I'm a good guy, yada, yada, yada. But then you go out and do that.
Not.
I don't think I'd be going out of the country to have a one-night stand while I'm saying those things. It doesn't make sense to me. Your words are just lies.
I'm sorry. I know.
It's not surprising.
Dakota knows her triggers. And again, he's looking for fame however he's going to get it. And she knows that, but she still continued to be with him. Let me just bring it up and
yeah, look at you. Look.
Look who's filming it.
Look. This is called physical abuse. Yeah. Yeah. See, Taylor, this is all you do. It's the only thing you know how to do. Holy I don't give a Let me go. Stop. Dude, leave me alone. Oh my God.
You saw that, right? Her daughter sitting on the couch.
Here. Oh my gosh. Oh my.
Now, you knew her daughter was sitting there. Why would you walk towards her daughter? Why would you do that? Why are you not leaving? Why are you going to the back of the house and not turning around? You're a man. You're stronger than her. Why didn't you go the opposite way and leave? Why would you know that her daughter's sitting there and go towards her so she can get hurt? And you're filming this. You didn't do it because out of the concern of yourself and your son. You did it to stick to her, and you knew you wanted, you knew that this was a means to an end. You knew that she was abusive and you wanted to stick it to her by taking her son away. But let's continue looking at this stupid video. Well, that was the end of the video, actually. Okay. So once that video was released by TMZ yesterday, that's when ABC and The Bachelorette announced that they were canceling this season of The Bachelorette, which was supposed to air on Sunday. And because they had to cancel it, guess what happened to them? They have lost almost $30 million. Because why? They were trying to be messy. They were trying to create this controversial season with this woman to get ratings. And instead of sticking to your core values of The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, of a real person really truly to find love and sticking to that, maybe throw a little bit mess in there because nobody wants a boring season. Throw a little mess in there. Throw a couple of, problematic singles in there. You know what I'm saying? To keep it entertained. But because you didn't want to stick to your core values, you lost $30 million. Let me show y'all that. I'm going to read that. So it says here from the Reality Rundown, it says, according to reports, ABC could lose tens of millions of dollars if the Bachelorette season starring Taylor Frankie Paul never makes it to air. It's not going to make it to air. All this abuse allegations has been going on for the last couple of years. Please. And again, they knew about it. They thought they were being sneaky. They thought they weren't going to get caught. And Dakota was like, I got something for you. I'm going to stick it to you and I'm going to stick it to her. I'm going to make sure I ruined her. That's what he was doing. Okay, since the potential loss includes fees already paid to Warner Brothers unscripted TV, marketing and promotional rollouts, ad revenue the network was counting on. It says sources say Warner Brothers execs are currently in a wait-and-see mode, staying in close contact with ABC as the situation unfolds. Baby, you're done. Okay, but nothing is locked in yet. This comes amid growing controversy surrounding Taylor, which has now put the entire season's future in question. Baby, y'all done. Y'all done. It says if ABC pulls the plug, which they did, it won't be just messy. It'll be a financial hit and a major shakeup for the franchise. At this point, the real question is, do they try to salvage the season or cut their losses completely? Either way, this might go down as one of the most chaotic behind the scenes moments in Bachelor Nation history. It sure is. And y'all gonna have to take that L. Again, you were trying to be messy and you got caught out there. If it didn't happen this week before the premiere, it was gonna happen sometime during the season. The Bachelorette season is pretty short. When I watched Chastity and the other girl, I think it was like 5 weeks. So within this 5 weeks, it was definitely Dakota was definitely going to blow the whistle on what happened to them during that night. Now that video there, I'm not sure if that was in 2023. Let me check TMZ. I don't think that was in 2023. I think that was at another time. Let me make sure. Hold on. I believe that was not 2023. Let me see. And I got some updated news. So I'm going to let y'all know that now. Hold on. Where's the damn video? Here you go. So this was the fight from 2023 that he filmed. So let me go back because I just saw some news. I'm on TMZ. She, in fact, lost temporary custody of her son Ever. So let me show y'all that real quick. Let me bring it up. So it says here, Dakota Mortensen just had a major legal victory against Taylor Frankie Paul. His request for a temporary protective order has been granted, and Taylor won't be seeing their son Ever until April. According to court docs obtained by TMZ, Dakota will have temporary custody of their 2-year-old son until April 7, when they're due in court. Until then, the fired Bachelorette star must also stay 100 feet away from Dakota, which includes his home. She also can't own any weapons. I don't know how y'all gonna figure that out. We told you all about it. Dakota went to court earlier this week, blah, 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 blah. So she has lost temporary custody of her son due to this video and the things that, the abuse that's been happening between these two in their relationship. And you know what? This is what happens when you are intoxicated, whether it's alcohol or drugs, when you have issues that are unresolved, you do not know how to use your words when you're having issues with someone and you put your hands on them. She needs to seek some serious help, and she should not be rewarded, because this is what's been happening since 2023, you guys. This incident happened the first episode. And when that incident happened and it was being filmed, Hulu should have ended their contract with her. But they didn't. They kept her. This woman repeatedly has been rewarded for all of her bad behavior, regardless of Dakota gaslighting her. And this is what happens. Now, these are the consequences of your actions. And trust and believe me, Dakota will get his eventually. And ABC, you need to take this L for you being messy and not sticking to your core values when it comes to The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. What are you guys' thoughts on the whole situation? Y'all let me know down below in the comments section, and I'll see you guys in the next one.